We got one thing that we do have to talk about. You guys know what I'm talking about? Something very important that happened a couple days ago that needs to be addressed here. That's right. Hugs has released a new YouTube video. It is me versus Chillin' Samus. A highlight made by Echo Storm. But then I guess to a lesser degree of importance, Nintendo f***ed us. Anonymous Smash 2 says, sub to Hugs. That's not me though. Big House is heartbroken to share that we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America Inc. to cancel our upcoming online event. So they are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House Online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted. That's some old bullshit. Because of the pandemic, we can't show up to live events and convene the way we normally do. Because it's just not safe to do it. So what did we do as a community for a game that doesn't have online play? We created it. We created an amazing version of it that gave us online play. Right? They're not throwing on like a fat schlong on Mario or anything. They're not giving Zelda just some bahangas, right? They're not doing anything like that. They're just letting you play Melee online so that you could do it safely from the comfort of your own home in the middle of a pandemic. All right, that's what they're doing. And for some reason, Nintendo feels like they need to shut it down. And I think that's disgusting. Because they absolutely don't need to do anything like that. 1 second. At what point do you feel that this is necessary other than just some kind of out-of-touch instinct to just tell everyone to fuck off? And I think it's extra gross of Nintendo because they've been holding us back for so long. And this is yet another example. So yeah, when I first heard about it, I was pretty disappointed. And I'm really happy to see the response on Twitter from everybody. Seeing how they're defending Melee. Seeing how they're trying to protect it. Hashtag free Melee. I think this is different from the EVO 2013 incident, which, if you guys don't know, in 2013, Smash Melee raised close to $100,000 to fight breast cancer. And that earned us a spot at EVO 2013. And then EVO was informed that they would not be allowed to stream the event because Nintendo told them not to. And it turns out that shutting down a community that just raised $100,000 to help fight breast cancer, wanting to simply have their video game streamed on the biggest fighting game tournament of the year that they haven't been able to get into for like 6 to 7 years. It turns out that shutting that down is bad PR. So Nintendo, after getting an onslaught of hate comments on the internet, flipped their decision and decided to take it back. And that was a big win for the Smash community. Speaking of Nintendo, would you look at this? Seems someone has anonymously written something about Nintendo. That's crazy. That's wild. How about I share that and put it on the internet too? No, it's anonymous. I didn't write it. No, it's anonymous. I didn't write it. Okay. Let's check it out. All right, let's read. This was written months prior to Nintendo sending a cease and desist to Big House. It was not written with that context in mind. This is being released anonymously for obvious reasons. Yeah, I would understand. You don't want someone's career to be affected by writing this or sharing this kind of information, because Nintendo has shown that they're willing to be pieces of shit. To begin, I want to state that I am not a journalist. What I am writing below is directly from what I've been told by the individuals who work at these companies or are deeply familiar with the business dealings of these companies by the nature of their position in esports. By the way, when I say I'm just reading what I'm not saying me. This is from an anonymous smasher. I did not obtain emails, contracts, or documents to verify their claims. I am merely trusting their word. If a journalist wants to take it to the next level to check everything, I would encourage it. I also want to point out that what I wrote below does not just include Melee. Most of what I am about to describe applies to Smash 4, Ultimate, and even Brawl as well. All Smash scenes have been held back by Nintendo's actions. This was written by the spirit of Melee. I'm writing this for the purpose of making the community at large aware of the things that I and many of the other members of the community have been aware of for years. But we're simply unwilling to talk about publicly because of the hope that Nintendo would make something happen. That hope is pretty much gone for me now, so I feel completely okay with sharing what I know. For the longest time, it's been known that Nintendo has wanted to avoid supporting the Smash esports scene in a way that helps us grow past the grassroots level. Nintendo is this entity that, for cultural or financial reasons, has simply chosen to not get involved in esports with Smash, at least not on the level that publishers get involved in most other major esports. We've heard quotes from top executives at Nintendo many times about their disinterest in competitive gaming. We accept this because it is their intellectual property and they can have whatever vision they see fit for it. Okay. However, Nintendo's stance feels less innocent when you understand that they also deliberately prevent other entities from helping our scene through various actions or inaction. Furthermore, these acts have gone on while stamping their name on our grassroots events or inviting a few of our personalities to their events. We regularly get a smidgen of hope that they're taking steps in the right direction, but no significant changes ever take place. They directly benefit from our community's existence while providing relatively little support and taking actions that hurt our scene. This note is written to shed light on the different ways Nintendo has stopped the scene from growing. As a part of this community, you deserve to know what many top players and influencers in the Smash scene have known for years. The only reason I speak on this now is because I feel we're now at the point where we have nothing to lose. He wrote this or he or she wrote this before Big House. So at this point, they were already saying there's nothing to lose. Well, now there's definitely nothing to lose. In the past, we'd be afraid to speak publicly because there was some hope that we were so close to having a real esports relationship with Nintendo, only to have that opportunity consistently slip away. Now, third-party entities that have attempted to work with Smash. There are several entities that have attempted to work with Nintendo to create events for Melee, Smash 4, and Ultimate. The following are just some of the bigger esports entities that were brought up to me. Not me, the anonymous writer. E-League, the organization that has brought Counter-Strike, Street Fighter, and many other games to ESPN, had attempted to throw a large event for Smash. In the end, they only got rights to rebroadcast the E3 Ultimate Invitational. My source explained to me that the rebroadcast rights served mostly as a consolation from Nintendo, as Nintendo wasn't cooperating on allowing them to run a more meaningful Smash event. So what that reads like to me is that there was an intention to run a more legitimate type of event that lines up more with like the desires of the competitive community rather than the shit show whatever that goes on at E3 when they do these invitationals and people play with items, free-for-all, 8-man free-for-alls, whatever the fuck they do. HTC, the phone company. After HTC Throwdown, a successfully capped one-day event ran by HTC Esports, they had an interest in running a Smash circuit with more money than we had ever seen in Smash. However, because an official Nintendo/Twitch circuit was just about finalized, in quotes, HTC was asked to instead aim to sponsor the main circuit rather than run a competing circuit. Thus, HTC backed out on running the circuit under the expectation that a Twitch Nintendo circuit would come to fruition. As we now know, the circuit never came to be, as I will discuss in the Twitch section below. Oh, okay, so it sounds like yet another big company wanted to run an entire circuit or league for Smash, and they were stopped, not necessarily directly by Nintendo in this case, but Nintendo was pretending to work with another entity, and those groups said, hey, you know what, it's probably better that we don't compete, so let's just all unite under this possibly fruitful relationship with Nintendo. All Nintendo has to do is pull through, right? That would have been awesome, right? So if we had known that that deal was going to fall through, then maybe the HTC Esports one would have been awesome. I think it would have been awesome. Really cool of HTC to want to help us out. ESL made an attempt to work with Nintendo to run its own circuit league, but Nintendo was largely unresponsive. They tried making meaningful contact with the company, prepared decks to sell the idea, but it couldn't go anywhere as Nintendo would not respond. I think it's interesting to note that Nintendo was willing to have Splatoon on ESL. To me, this shows that Nintendo will support scenes that don't thrive on their own, like Splatoon and ARMS, but they won't touch Smash because they can hang back and reap the benefits that we create as a grassroots community, essentially letting us do all the work while doing nothing to help us get bigger. Wow, that's weird. So if you don't know ESL is it's a big company that runs huge events for various games. You guys know ESL. Can you imagine Smash on that? That would have been crazy. It's like if they were preparing decks and reaching out to Nintendo regularly, this very legitimate company, I think Nintendo could have trusted them to run an honest league for us. But then they just decided not to respond. But when it came to doing it for Splatoon, oh, they were about it. That's really weird. But thankfully, thank God Splatoon got the spot. No, they deserve it. They've been working really hard. Big fan base. It's awesome. Now, it's not a bad game, but when you really think about it, it's probably the most important franchise that Nintendo has in the esports world. So I understand why the ESL one worked out. MLG. In 2015, MLG held an event with Melee, and later with Smash 4. According to my source, MLG, by the way, once again, this is not me reading it, I'm simply reading the account of the anonymous Smasher. I don't know who wrote this. According to my source, MLG did not continue working with Smash Melee after MLG Anaheim in 2015. I remember that. It was a great year, and then we just never continued because Nintendo wanted to charge a $50,000 licensing fee per event, over double the asking rate for Street Fighter 4, a much more modern game at the time. Weird that they would charge double the price for a 2001 game. That's crazy. Okay. This practice to me seems like a way to effectively shut down Melee at MLG without directly preventing them from running it. So essentially, they don't have to tell them to stop. They could just charge enough money so that MLG just can't keep doing it. I would also assume that this fee would be charged and no real support would be provided by Nintendo, as has been the case with some of our grassroots events. I mean, if they're not really actually doing anything for our grassroots events, why would they do it at MLG? I don't know. Hey, what's up, Blevins? Welcome to this up. Interesting. There have been other incidents relating to MLG that have been spoken of publicly by former employees and insiders, such as the fact that Nintendo denied MLG the rights to stream Brawl in 2010, so it's not just Melee. That Nintendo denied USA from televising, not the country, the channel, from televising the Smash portion of their events in 2006, and the following quote from Sundance, this is a long quote, "We of course know that the Smash community is just as excited as we are to follow the tournament and see who makes their mark on the biggest stage in gaming, and we're committed to doing everything we can to make our coverage of the tournament as comprehensive as possible. However, I'm sorry to say that we will not be able to have a live stream for Smash in Orlando this weekend. In order to stream something like this, we have to secure live streaming rights from the game's publisher, and despite our best efforts, we have not been able to get permission from Nintendo thus far. We kept the conversation going all the way down to the wire in hopes that we'd get an 11th hour approval and could stream the event, but unfortunately, it didn't happen." Wow, really surprising. He goes on to say, "I know this is disappointing news, and believe me, we don't like it either. There's just no way around it. A company of our size simply has to play by the rules." Yes, we understand, MLG. I know a lot of you guys have seen this local Smash tournament streamed online and are probably wondering why we can't just do the same thing. The answer is because we are a real company with real visibility and real things to lose. We can't fly under the radar like a local tournament can, nor would we want to. While the MLG era was a very long time ago, the impact of those decisions hit the scene at a point where it was just starting to thrive and would have effectively shut us down had it not been for our revival in 2013 due to the EVO, the documentary and EVO fundraising. I think that's what the writer's trying to say. Once again, not me. Red Bull. Initially, it was Red Bull, Twitch, and Nintendo in talks to start a circuit similar to the Red Bull Proving Grounds, but for Smash. A circuit where monthly tournaments would take place across cities in the US, and at the end of the season, the top players from each locale would come to compete in the championship event. Oh, so that sounds like a really cool circuit that we could have been part of, backed by Red Bull. That sounds really amazing, actually. I really wish we could have done something like that, because Red Bull loves us. They're always supporting us. They're great. They would have done us justice, I think. Red Bull did much of the legwork to get it to launch, but it was Red Bull that was effectively cut from the conversations and the deal altogether. Let's read on. Twitch and a later removed Red Bull had been in negotiations with Nintendo to run a sanctioned circuit for Smash, including Smash 4 and Melee, starting around 2015. Twitch was fronting the costs of this deal with a budget in the millions per year, while Nintendo would own the League brand despite their lack of financial contribution. So once again, another company making it incredibly easy for Nintendo to simply say yes. During this time, it seemed like Twitch was always close, only to have conversations left without a response from Nintendo for months, thus delaying the process. Weird, it's kind of like throughout the years, we'd be told that we were close multiple times because Nintendo was telling people that we were close, right? That we'd do certain things, we'd act certain ways on the hope that we could get this to close with Twitch, and everyone's heard rumblings of a league, but then it never transpired. Isn't that weird? Eventually, around early 2018, after 3 years of man-hours and efforts to appease Nintendo, the parties came to an agreement. Whoa! Are you serious? Hold on. Was it a verbal agreement? Oh, this wasn't just a verbal agreement, or an agreement made in good faith. It was a written contractual agreement meant to kick off the circuit for both Melee and Smash 4. Wow, it was in writing. It's like it was really just right there. This would have been the moment that legitimized Melee and Smash 4 as a major esport. For years, Smash had the viewership, the engagement, the fan base to say that we were a top esport. But we lacked official sanctioning from our developer. Now, after years of manpower, money, and stress in dealing with Nintendo, we got a written agreement to start a circuit. So what happened? Unbeknownst to anyone, Nintendo had plans to announce Smash Ultimate in 2018. Nintendo began ghosting those working at Twitch even after the agreement was made. Then once Ultimate was announced, Nintendo came back to Twitch and effectively stated that the circuit no longer made sense with Ultimate in sight. They told Twitch that they wanted to see how the community responded to Ultimate and see if getting involved in esports this way would make sense once the game was released. So all these years, the decade plus of seeing Melee exist as an esport was not enough proof for Nintendo to say, okay, yeah, I think Ultimate will work out. Yeah, let's get involved. Let's do this thing. No, let's just delay it all over again, even though we have a written contractual agreement. Cool. Twitch was effectively told they'd have to wait again, and that conversations may be revived later in the year when Ultimate came out. So, another close call, another year of delay, and no guarantee that they would make anything work once Ultimate was out. It's been a while since Ultimate's release with no news in sight of a circuit. As far as I've been made aware, those talks of a circuit are completely dead. My personal comments on the entities above. Okay, not mine. The anonymous smashers. According to my source, the entities above, every single one of them, have attempted to work with Nintendo while fronting all the costs. In other words, they attempt to work with Nintendo without asking for a dime from them. All they seek is permission. This is not the normal practice. Typically, developers front some money themselves for a chance to run a circuit with companies like Red Bull and Twitch. In this instance, and I know that's true because I know that when Twitch Rivals is doing an event for Riot, I know that I'm not getting paid to cast by just Twitch. I know that Riot's money is involved. It's weird how a developer would want to put some money forward to work with a big platform like Twitch to promote their product. It's kind of weird, right? But then here are these companies that are saying, hey, Nintendo, take our money. We know Smash is so valuable that we're willing to put down all the fucking money to make this work. All you have to do is say yes, Nintendo. Another thing to note is that the people who have put years and countless hours into making this work with Nintendo also worked on making circuits happen for games like Tekken, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and Street Fighter. Circuits for those games came to fruition within months. Months, not years? What? How'd you make that happen? The negotiations were much more simple, yet with Nintendo and Smash, the process has taken over 5 years and counting. Wow. Interesting. At a certain point, it becomes clear that Nintendo doesn't want Smash Esports to happen, but they allow people to think it will. Nintendo knows there is a benefit in keeping the scene hopeful while never shutting us down completely. Think about it, the writer asks. If Nintendo really had such a problem with Smash Esports, they could shut it down. They could. They just proved they could do that with Big House. Likewise, if Nintendo really wanted us to succeed, they could just apply their incredible resources to make it happen. True. Doesn't take a lot to make Smash work. Doesn't take a lot of money. I have some thoughts on why we get neither outcome and why Nintendo remains conveniently uncommitted to either scenario. Shutting us down completely would be very bad publicity. True. At this point, we as Smash have enough of a voice to influence, or we in Smash, the Smash community, have enough of a voice to influence the actions of major corporations, including Nintendo. It's a marvel of the internet. They famously reversed their reprehensible decision to shut down Melee's stream at EVO 2013 after we raised close to $100,000 to fight breast cancer. We caused a ruckus on the internet, and 5 hours later we were back on stream at EVO. The effects of that moment ring out today. Kind of. We're way bigger now, and they know how loud our voices are. Perhaps that is exactly why they only dip their toes and pretend to help the scene. Maybe they don't want to help us grow and get louder. Maybe. Maybe they don't want to spend money on this esports thing. Also another possibility. Maybe they think competitive Smash differs from their vision for the game. True, people have come out and said that sort of thing. People like Sakurai, etc. Fine. However, while that all may be true, they simultaneously do want what our voices give them. Marketing, advertising, a whole lot of it. Now, you might believe that Nintendo doesn't really need our community to sell games. That's probably true. However, does it benefit them to allow us to exist as we do? Oh God. Yes, the writer says. I think it's very clear that Nintendo benefits from the influencers that the esports community has created. Hell, Nintendo has even used these exact influencers for their invitationals at E3 to help promote the game. Look at it this way, the writer asks. Imagine a world where Smash Esports wasn't a thing and Nintendo releases a Direct, as they do nowadays. You'd probably have quite a few people watching on their computers in the privacy of their homes, and when it's done, they shut down their computer and move on with their day. That sounds like a reasonable thing that people would do when they watch a Nintendo Direct. But what we have instead are those very same people replying to ESAM's tweet, sharing Leffen's video, playing HBox's reaction on repeat. Steve! It's Steve! Minecraft, Steve! You get hundreds of millions of impressions from fans of these influencers spreading the news of the game everywhere. It doesn't take an advertising genius to understand the power of influencer marketing, and Nintendo is getting it not just for free, but while actively suppressing our scene from getting larger. And I agree with you, writer. That sounds pretty fucked up. The effects of this on the scene are being felt greater than ever before. Haha, Ryder, you have no idea. You were a couple months early. They're being felt even worse now. As far as I know, ESL and E-League have nothing in the works for us, and Red Bull has resorted to clever workarounds to help us out on events without getting the hammer from Nintendo. Like the Mango Birthday Bash. Wasn't it cool how we just celebrated Mango's birthday in Canada? It wasn't a Smash event. We were just hanging out with Mango and celebrating his birthday and then just running a stream. That was great. Effects on the scene. Nintendo and grassroots events. It's a crazy world we live in when the announcement of a Nintendo-approved grassroots event is considered a bad thing by much of the community. It's a near guarantee that UCF, Slippy, and PM won't be present. I spoke to a few TOs to get some insight as to what comes with a Nintendo partnership. From my conversations, the benefits include allowing events to use their brand, which adds legitimacy to sponsors and potential attendees. Okay. The event won't get a cease and desist. Haha, we just saw that now, huh? Not that it would be likely to begin with. Ooh, Ryder, little did you know. But surely they wouldn't do that, right? Oh, that wouldn't make sense. That'd be kind of really fucked up, right? Especially during a pandemic. For some events, they're supposed to use the Nintendo versus Twitter account to post about the event. For one event in particular, as far as the writer's aware, Nintendo did not deliver on that. And that's mostly it. That's it. They just allow the event to use their brand, and they just don't give them a cease and desist. And then they write a few tweets on the Nintendo versus Twitter. That's all they do for grassroots. That's the support Nintendo's always talking about. Support varies between events after that. Oh, okay. Maybe there's some. While no TO I spoke to received direct financial support, so they didn't pay a goddamn dime, at least one event received indirect support via connections that enabled discounts for setups and equipment. Oh, isn't that sweet of them? They're like, oh no, we're not going to give you money, but I got a plug that'll give you a discount so that you can pay for all your setups. That's really cool. Okay. However, every Splatoon setup was provided by Nintendo at every event they were a part of. Wow. Once again, it makes sense. The most important franchise that Nintendo has in the esports world got every console and setup paid for. That's so cool. Oh man, I really love how Nintendo supports their games. That's crazy. Nintendo would also take up floor space for ultimate activation areas before the game's release. I remember that at Genesis. This is all without directly paying the tournament organizers. I've seen it at other events too. I've seen ultimate setups before the game came out. So effectively they were taking up floor space that people typically have to pay for in order to promote their own upcoming titles at events filled with Nintendo fans. Wow, it's like the grassroots community has managed to gather a ton of Nintendo fans, right? Like at SmashCon and like all these other events. And Nintendo says, oh, we're not going to give you any money. We're not going to do that at all. But we're going to demand that you give us free floor space, take it away from other people who would potentially pay for it, to promote our games to this amazing demographic that you've managed to procure, made up of Nintendo fans. The exact people we want to market to. But we're not going to pay for it. A final note on this. TOs are obligated to run Nintendo ads for these Nintendo-sanctioned events? No. Wait, hold on. So, not only are you milking the fans that show up live, not paying the tournament organizers, and taking away space where they could have made money, you're also milking the demographic that's at home watching these esports events by putting your ads out there and forcing the tournament to play those specific ads for them, all without paying the tournament organizers for this scene that you've never supported and in fact held back for over a decade. Wow. That's a lot to take in, isn't it, chat? Isn't that a lot to take in? Man, this anonymous smasher. Well, that's just grassroots events. Let's move on to PM. Project M. P+. There was no cease and desist. I think that's been made public a couple times. What happened is that Nintendo essentially stated to people within our scene that our community support of PM was what was preventing them from working with us. Oh. So naturally, eager TOs and streamers saw an opportunity to work with Nintendo and contribute to the successful start of a Nintendo Smash circuit. I heard it myself from so many TOs and streamers. They thought they were doing something good for the scene. And the writer can't blame them. It's like the tournaments didn't want to shit on PM. It's just they were promised by Nintendo that greater things were to come for the scene as a whole. This naturally hurt the PM scene tremendously, and we've come to find that it was for nothing. Furthermore, the loss of PM actually cost our community due to the loss of revenue from PM attendees and viewership. Turns out PM had a lot of fans. Still do. Still does. Esports teams. You notice a lot of top players have been having trouble securing a team. A long time ago, teams were hopeful for Smash, and there was a surge of player pickups because of the crazy level of fan engagement paired up with the hope for a Nintendo circuit that never came to be. I can speak from experience. Nearly every org that I spoke to when I was trying to get sponsored, including Dignitas, was aware that there was a potential Smash circuit in the works, and that is why they were so excited to pick up all types of Smashers. And the years go by. And then the teams become disillusioned with Nintendo, just as we are. And then they can't afford us anymore because the investment doesn't make sense. We love Smash. We love the players, but it's just not smart business anymore. Closing thoughts. Keep up the passion in protecting the Smash community. Every single part of the community has been held back by Nintendo. While Nintendo is powerful, I truly believe that our love for the various Smash games is strong enough to allow us to continue on for years, even decades, into the future. We've survived for this long despite many hurdles, and we could overcome new ones too. Oh. Gotta read. What do you guys think? Yeah, you know what? I think I'm at the point where, I'm not going to buy a Nintendo product. I got to cancel. I saw a tweet from Army, and I need to get on that, where he said, I finally have an excuse to stop being lazy and cancel my shitty Nintendo Online subscription that I just too lazy to cancel. I'm going to cancel the fuck out of mine. I'm not buying another Nintendo product. I'm not going to work for them on any kind of event. If they ever ask me, they probably won't at this point, right? I would encourage every member of the community to also not do it, to not support them in any kind of way. I hope whatever Nintendo ambassadors are out there who have those gigs with Nintendo, I hope they realize how fucked up it would be for them to continue that relationship with a company that has actively held back the scene that has raised them. But that's just me. You guys don't have to. But I simply think they're a piece of shit company that has done awful things, and they're not going to learn any kind of lesson. So yeah, like the writer said, he's not a journalist. This might not be 100%. I think it would take a journalist to verify everything, get some contracts, get some emails and stuff, but I don't think that was at the writer's disposal. But reading this, I personally can vouch for a bunch of these facts. I've known this for a lot of years. A lot of people you'll find on Twitter, if other top players and Smash community members are retweeting it, you might find that a lot of them actually recall a lot of these facts as well. Yeah, I think the response will probably be. I think it'll probably be mostly support. I think you're gonna have those online shitters, like the people, right? The people who don't think Melee or any Smash game in general should be played at any kind of serious level. Man, fuck these guys using glitches and shit like that. Can't they just have fun? Fucking idiots. And then it's just hentai all over their profile. Or whatever. You know those people. You know what they're going to say, right? There's going to be people like that. But I think the majority is going to be support. Because Me reading this, I think I could be a neutral party, read this and be like, that's fucked up. The only way I don't end up saying that is if I'm just some kind of like corporate bootlicker who just always sides with the big money, right? Wait, what did Lud do? Oh, he's gonna bring exposure to this? Oh, let's go, baby. Is he streaming right now? What is this? Weren't you planning on writing a hit piece on Nintendo months ago? No. I wasn't. What the fuck? Alright, let's see if it's spread. How much has it spread? Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty hype. That's a lot. Like him or hate him, don't forget Ninja at his height wanted to do something with Smash, and from what he said, Nintendo just left him on read after a while. That I heard. That I remember hearing. This is, to me, I think it really paints Nintendo and what they've done as unforgivable. Well, there is one way it could be forgiven. They tell their lawyers to fuck off. Someone at the company says, I don't know who, Bowser. Reggie comes back, kicks Bowser in the dick, whatever it is, and then says, you know what, fuck that. We're helping these guys out. And then they do an actual circuit. Okay. Run it. I'm down. Like, we won't forget, but forgive it. I mean, we're going to be really pissed if your rules are ass, but forgive it. A little bit. Maybe it's cultural reasons. Maybe their return on investment doesn't feel right, even though I don't think they have to invest that much. I mean, but I don't run the business, so I can't say. Now, for the rest of us, it seems pretty stupid, right? You know how much money you can make by just making a skin? You know how much money you can make? Just let me customize my shield, right? On my Samus. I'll pay money for that. Fuck yeah, I'll pay money for that. Let me get a different colored missile. I'll pay money for that shit. So yeah, it does seem pretty stupid, from my opinion, that they could actually monetize this. They could be a filthy, greedy fucking corporation and monetize our love for the game. I would prefer that. And then, I would prefer them ignoring us 1,000,000 times over than what they actually do, which is stop other people from helping us. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how deeply layered their shittiness is? You know what I mean? I think anyone at this point who's not saying fuck them is probably not a part of the Smash community now. Right. Oh, it turns out that Salem, it's now him who's not a part of the Smash community. Look how the tables have turned, huh? He's still Team Nintendo. Well, fuck off then. Go with them. Wait, Tafo, you tweeted an all-time banger? Tafo, did you write this? Smash scene, Nintendo. I don't get it. Yo, I don't watch Karuko no Basket, dude. What is this? Why is he just a piece of shit to his Pokemon or what? Trainer abused Charmander, left him to die. What? Hold on. Left him to die in the rain. What a piece of shit. Alright, yeah, this is an all-time banger. That's money. Yo, Anonymous Smash 2? That's my dog. That's my fucking dog right there. Didn't even bother coming up with a real name. Didn't even bother coming up with a clever name. No, just Anonymous Smash 2. Number 1 was taken. Nah, I don't know who that is. Yo, that guy needs to be in the all-time bracket, right? I don't know what it would bring. I don't know if it's going to bring any... Like, when I read this, I don't know if it actually does anything for the scene. Like the writer said, I think it's just right that the community knows. You know? Nintendo could ignore this just like they're ignoring Free Melee, the hashtag right now. I think if you're a caster or a person who's getting a gig for like something like ARMS or something like Splatoon or something, in my mind as a community member, my idea is like you're with us or you're with them. And if a couple $100 means more to you than us, then you could dip. Keep getting your money, do your thing, but I am not going to fuck with you if you're choosing that sort of thing. Because it's not just they're kind of fucking with the game, right? They're fucking with livelihoods, right? I have friends close friends who have been dropped from teams because they couldn't justify the investment because of Nintendo's bullshit. Because if MLG took off the way it was trying to, if Twitch and Nintendo had that circuit the way that Twitch was trying to and Red Bull were trying to, then my friends would still have their jobs. They'd still be on these teams. They'd have their money, right, for all the work that they put into the game. Hell, I might still be competing in this game even more seriously instead of thinking I got to get out because Nintendo's fucking me over and I got to worry about mine. But yeah, spread it. Put visibility on it out there. Look, I mean, come on, look, Mr. Anonymous Smasher 2, he doesn't have that many followers. Or she. They need a voice. Poor Anonymous Smash 2. I bet you whoever this is a cool person. And then the new documentary is coming out in a couple weeks. This is our revolution. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching it. I'm really hoping I didn't say some cringe shit. I did that interview like in 2014 or something. And I'm really hoping I still agree with what I said, man, because I hope I fixed my teeth too. I don't know if I did yet. So I might have fucked up teeth in the new documentary again. You know how much that would suck? I did all this work. And then the documentary comes out, my teeth are fucked up again? More memes? It's going to suck. That's going to kill Melee. Hugs going back to fucked up teeth. Oh, Ludwig brought up that Nintendo was pressing the Smash World Tour. Hold on.
Teen drama actually probably saved Nintendo some PR disasters because it was blamed on...
Come on, what?
That illness, not the illness of the employees who shut it down in the first place.
Oh.
This all blew over because of COVID.
Oh,
that's the facts. That's the truth.
Oh,
JC from Nintendo dropped a facepalm tweet when the Smash World Tour announcement came out and then deleted it. What? What is that, Petty?
That's true.
Who is that?
The first retweet I saw was from Armada. Man, poor Anonymous Smasher tagged all these big names and no one paid attention to this poor little guy or girl until one Armada broke through. Ah, shout outs to Armada, baby. That's why he's goated. Mango. Oh, Mango tweeted it? Oh, let's go. Let me see. XD, serious read though. The XD is just how my heart feels about Nintendo. Okay. Did Zane tweet it? He didn't tweet it. No, but he's reading it on stream or something, right? Hugs was number 15 on the list of people tagged. Hold on, wait, hold on. Are we getting clues here? Who could it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait a minute. Nah, it couldn't be me who wrote it, though. Because if I wrote it, there's no world where I tag Liquid Chillin' above me. And we know it's not Blur because he would have put himself first, right? But it could be someone who respects Mango because they tagged Mango first. And they know that Mango is less likely to retweet it if he's after Leffen or Armada. So it's probably a Mango friend. Or a fan. Can't be Mango who wrote it. Because the words anonymously, right? Encourage, intellectual property. These are all big words that Mango will never use. Guys, let me know right now if you are Anonymous Smash 2. I fucking knew it. I'm Anonymous Smasher 2. I'm Anonymous Smasher 2. I'm Anonymous Smasher 2. I am Anonymous Smasher 2. No, that's the joke. That's the joke. We're all saying it. We're all saying it. Can't get me if we're all admitting it. I'm Anonymous Smasher 2. Wait, so who's Ryan Garcia? I know he's a boxer, but how big is he as a boxer? And did we know that he was a Smash fan or what? Oh, my man, he's Latino too? Let's go. Well, I guess I should have figured, right? Free Melee. Oh, my dude. My fucking dude. What are the takeaways here? Well, now you know why the fight is important. Now you know why not supporting Nintendo is important. Now you know why people are so frustrated. It's not just them shutting down Big House. It's everything over decade plus. He gets enough of this shit online, or Nintendo gets enough of this shit online where they're tired of it. They change their ways. It's enough of a PR problem that they suggest that they need to just scale back on it. It's not worth the impact on their reputation. That's where we'd be okay with it. They just back off. Cool. The other option is what Ludwig's doing, where you're throwing a big tournament for charity and you have them shut that down, right? You tempt them to shut a lot of things down so the PR gets even worse, right? So we could amplify it now by just going crazy on Twitter, or we let them do it to themselves. We let them play themselves. We bait them. Is it ever going to translate into Nintendo actually helping us? Probably not at this point. The bridges are way too burned, but I don't care. It's already done. What did we lose? We lost nothing. We lost that which was already lost. So fuck them. My love for Smash started with Melee. I watched the documentary and been playing it ever since. Please, Nintendo America, people love this game. My man! My man! Oh, that's so hype. That's so hype. And we got another one coming out. Dude, actually, this whole controversy is boding really well for Samox because it's going to get that much more eyes on the documentary. There's Duck, my boy Duck. So many potential circuits that I've just forgot about are included in this article. I remember how excited I used to be about Nintendo sponsorship talks of them helping out the scene in unheard of ways. Now looking back, I just feel like those days will never come. Damn. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I just know that now the community is going to be different. I'm hoping that we're united, though, not divided after this. I'm hoping everyone kind of knows what team they have to be on. Hopefully Hopefully Team Nintendo is literally just Jack Bowser or whatever his name is and Salem. And that's it. If that's Team Nintendo, fine. I don't give a fuck. Run it. So I think this was all just really important to talk about, and I feel weird, to be honest, transferring over to like playing my typical Pokemon stream. So I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. So if you're down with Pokemon Showdown, by the way, not on the Switch, I'm playing Pokemon Showdown because I ain't giving Nintendo money. Then I'll be doing that tomorrow. So if you don't know about the stream, hit the follow button. If you like hanging out, if for some reason you think I'm funny, hit the follow button. I'll be live. Again, I'm usually live like 4 p.m. I usually do Smash stuff, Pokemon stuff, shoot the shit. YouTube.com/Hugs86. It's right here. Oh, look. Chillin insults my charge shots. Oh, what a great video. It's me fucking up Chillin. You love to see it. Alright. Check that video out. Anyways, guys, I'm going to start wrapping up. I have to work out and then eat dinner for the night. This was a dope stream. Once again, shout outs to Anonymous Smasher 2. Whoever it is. I hope your body is banging, whatever that means to you. I think it would be sick if the Melee community, the Smash community, sorry, was actually powerful enough to stop Nintendo. I think that would be sick, and I think we could actually do it. Hit the follow button if you like the stream. Check out my YouTube, youtube.com/Hugs86. Subscribe there, that shit's free. My videos are fire. Alright, later, y'all. Good night. Shit, I'm about to get DMCA'd. I'm too accurate.